Safe Morrison, and this is This Week in Car Audio. Tune in. This Week in Car Audio. Tune in. We'll be talking about bass, talking about chips, talking about rings. You ain't got them, zip your lip. You got a problem you haven't found, check your grounds. The show about to start. Tune in. This Week in Car Audio. Yeah. Tune in. This Week in Car Audio.
Welcome to This Week in Car Audio with your host, the Judge, Doug Stockton, co-hosted by Mr. Internet Sensation himself, Jeffrey Fernandez. What's going on, Jeff?
Nothing much. Another Monday here in Texas. How you doing, Doug?
Oh, just doing good. Any shows or anything lately?
No shows. It's kind of like the chill time right now.
No, we don't
Yeah.
chill around here.
No.
All right, I'm going to start saving YouTube. Apparently, I'm live on YouTube, it says. I am going to start sharing this. Yeah. Yep, and I'm starting to get text in there. Louis TVC says, what's up? All right, well, I might as well, I guess I can get right into it right away since we don't have any things to talk about, in the for the previous week. But we got Jose Ramos in here.
Hey.
What's up, Jose?
What's going
on? So we are. Oh, that's right, Sonic Effects. That's why I can't find it. I'm looking at the wrong spot. So Jose, tell us about you and what you're doing. Oh, your dad popped in there. Says, "What do you miss?" Tell us about
now we can differentiate who's senior and who's junior, whoever's posting, because we have junior live.
As far as upcoming shows, we have this car show at Jelly Belly next on the 13th on April.
Yep.
And that should be a dual org. It should be USACi and USACi. And then we got Autorama.
Yep.
That I'm doing with you and Rick Emily.
That's right. So Autorama's May 5th. Eric Hansen, Anthony Capps popping in there. Widow ever gonna play? He wants to know.
It should be playing eventually. I'm just trying to make sure everything is set up correctly. Not trying to rush it.
Not trying to what?
Not trying to rush it. Sorry. No.
Okay.
Yeah, you still got time.
Yeah, a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, we are down to only a few weeks to Autorama. We're less than a month. So, or right at a month. Sorry. Let's see. I'm still sharing here.
As far as the Widow at Autorama, I personally think it probably won't be there. Just because we're trying to make sure it's not a rush job.
It's not what your dad says.
He has very very hopeful.
He's got lofty goals, huh?
Definitely.
That's good to hear. All right, real quick, I want to say thank you to our sponsors for today's podcast. Now I'm done sharing. Our sponsors, Crossfire Car Audio. We got E-Box Design and Install, which is Eric Hansen. You see him popping in here every once in a while on the chat. And then we got Voodoo Customs. So if you guys ever get an opportunity to purchase something or want to purchase it from somebody that supports the channel, because if you enjoy the channel, then support the people that support the things that you like. Tiffany Paris checking in. That's another thing I did want to talk about. So why don't we go over some of the USAC rules that may be slightly different that somebody that may be showing up to Autorama might not know about.
Well, first off, the meter location is completely different. If you run it, it's usually run in the kick.
In a globe?
In a globe, yes.
Okay. DB Drag uses a sphere. So
a 3D circle?
That's right.
What? Well, you know what? I noticed at this past USACi finals a couple weeks ago, I'm not sure if you've seen it, but they're using a different. I don't know if they said it was a different style globe or
Is it the green one?
it was a yellow one. It
Huh.
looked a little bit more what they were calling egg shaped for some reason, rather
Interesting.
than a sphere or a globe.
So does it put it farther away from all the panels?
It seemed like it was able to get in the crevices better, so I'm
Uh,
not sure if that's the final rendition of that version. But
okay.
yeah, those kind of weird to see. But yeah,
Yeah,
a
'cause I
globe.
have the green one that should be similar to Doug.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I haven't I haven't paid attention to which glove he uses, but I was told one place I could get mine from was the T.W.I.C.A store.
Hmm.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and if it's green,
Yeah.
then it's probably the same exact ones. Have you
Hmm.
put Velcro on it yet?
Yes.
All right.
Oh, okay.
That's the most important part. Uh,
Velcro and zip ties. Like
that's
zip
right.
ties on the
Oh,
edges,
and
just in case.
just
Yeah.
in case.
Yeah.
Just in case.
Well, we take ours in and out, so the Velcro is a way better option. Zip ties, you
Ah,
got to
that's
cut
true.
them. You know.
I
Yeah.
just
Well,
use
you know what?
uh
Oh, sorry. There's was another feature of the globe that I saw at finals was it has a lip, so you can kind of wedge the sensor in there.
uh
So, in addition to the flat surface, one end had a lip to it, so you can kind of just put the sensor in and kind of wedge it in there, which was a little different.
Okay.
mm.
That's very
So
interesting.
I remember I think he was using chemos, and that was I think the old version. It was just like a square,
Hmm.
and mine has like a lip to it. So I have Velcro on both sides, but sometimes it ends up coming off. So that's why I put the zip ties on, like wrap them around the suction cups. That's
Hmm.
kind of like but keep it loose, so if it falls, it just kind of just falls like an inch.
Okay. Eric Hansen says it's smaller than the one we use also.
Hmm.
Interesting.
I
Yeah.
I have to see where I can get my hands on one if I can.
Yep.
I
Uh,
think they were selling them at USACi finals. I'm not sure what the price was, but I think they were offering it for sale.
Hmm.
in case you guys don't know, so Jose Ramos, he
Hmm.
is the owner of the Widows. So he has two vehicles that he had, and 2 years ago, I think it was, he held the world record for no wall in one of his vehicles and wall in the other vehicle for Cyclone.
Yeah.
Yeah, it feels like 2021,
Yep, something
so
like
something
that.
like that.
Yep.
Because my dad and the widow took it on 2019, but then I lost to Canada on the no wall section.
Oh, you did.
Yeah, yeah.
Who was
So the
that?
first time, um, he always wins the no wall.
Oh, is it Steven?
Steven
T Mini?
Takakis, T Mini, or was it
Team Mini,
Jimbo?
Oh, T Mini.
Team Mini.
Oh, Jimbo
Yeah.
straight wall.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't remember the last time I looked in Jimbo's. I don't pay attention that much. Just, is this the right class? Yep. And then walk out, that way I can
Nah,
never be
yeah.
accused of knowing too much about somebody's vehicle.
Nah, yeah. That was yeah for the first season. My dad took it on by himself, and then the next season we had finals. We both clutched it up.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was
that was
cool.
definitely fun.
Yeah,
And
father son.
I held that world record for quite a bit until recently. Somebody finally surpassed me in Noah.
Oh, really? Who did
Yeah,
that?
I forgot the name, but I remember watching the finals videos. It was like a old metal body silver
Oh
F one
yeah,
fifty.
it was a truck, Ford
Yeah, it's
truck.
like
It
F one
was
fifty.
I think out of Chris Gregory's
Oh,
area.
it was one of the
Yeah,
Tennessee guys,
Yeah.
huh?
Yeah. I think it
Oh.
was his first year too.
probably. I
Mm.
Wow.
never seen that score or anything. It just came out of nowhere. Yeah, I was like, oh, it's not. It came out 154 and then dropped. I think it was like a 153 final.
Yep.
Yeah, it was that blow through.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Um, one thing I do want to get to sometime today also is
Mhm.
I do want to share. So some people have asked about becoming a judge in their specific area and whatnot. So I
Mhm.
shared with Jose Ramos some of the stuff he read through it, and um, so if somebody in Washington wanted to become a World Finals or a DB drag judge,
Mhm.
from an outside perspective, I mean, Jeffrey and I have been doing this for a very long time. So, what's the what does the process look like to you?
As far as becoming drag judge?
Just becoming a DB drag judge, yeah.
Well, I mean, I think I spoke to you about it. Well, I did actually. I mean, the only thing I, that some people might like becoming a TV drag judge, that might there's some people away is like the 3X. If you want to become a 3X, you can't really compete anymore, right?
Correct.
Yeah,
So, but as a 2X judge, you still can
you
compete.
can. Yeah.
But as far like the process to do it, so what does the process look like to you? I mean, like I said, you're an outside perspective, right?
Right.
Jeffrey and I have been doing this for a minute. Our perception of what the process is pretty straightforward. But you, as an outside person, what did you look at? What did you see as how to become a judge?
Well, I'm still in the beginnings of it, so I don't know how much more I have as far as becoming a judge goes.
Yep.
I've been in talkings with you about doing it,
Mm-hmm.
and I got all the reading material, and everything seems pretty straightforward. Especially if you've been a competitor for a long time, you already kind of know the backbone of most of the classes and everything. It's just there's a few other things you have to learn about as far as like how to be a fair judge, but me being another org, it kind of carries over more so.
Right.
As far as for like,
and then like efficiency, efficiency is a big deal with us in DB Drag because some of the other organizations they don't have the time restraints that DB Drag has because when it's your time in the bracket, it's your time in the bracket. And
true.
Other organizations don't exactly have that, right? So so that is a time constraint that people that may be judging in other organizations may not be familiar with.
Yeah,
it's something I'll definitely have to learn as I go.
I noticed that with USACi at finals, like they were, I guess they buy time slots, which
really?
was a little different, to me. I guess you could buy like later time slots so you don't have to go up right away, and it's all kind of that way. But with DB Drag, it's like, hey, you're up. We need you up here right away, and
I think different. as a competitor in drag, the only thing close to that would be your qualifying time. Like you sign up and your qualifying order.
Oh, for World Finals.
Yeah, for World Finals.
Yeah. No, that's and realistically, like so, big shows like Autorama, Slamology used to be. I haven't been up to Surf City, but I'm sure it's the same. The big deal is qualifying because our qualifying time has a limit, right? So, Autorama qualifying's done at 11 o'clock. So that means I've got to qualify everybody by 11 o'clock.
Yeah. To get into the competition because otherwise you're just qualifying.
Yep. And that's Michael Longstreet just posted same thing that Jose just said. And DB Drag goes off of how you register for finals. I registered last and was first up to qualify. That is correct. Makes a big difference.
Qualifying and competing.
Yeah. So DB Drag has been known. People may have been known to not exactly let their full number show the first run in the lanes. And if you qualify,
there you go.
Last instead of first, then you could decide how much of that number you want to show off.
I'm guilty as charged. Full season of sandbagging.
Sandbaggers.
I know. I have to sweep up after him after he leaves the lanes. We got a mini beach. That's right. We got a little beach left over behind. So yeah, and for some of those guys that are at the top in their class, realistically, there's no incentive for them to show their whole number if nobody's caught it yet.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's just something to keep in mind. Um, so as far as you're looking into the judging aspect of it, do you like okay? So some of the things that you and I talked about was you weren't, number one is you need to have some banners, right?
Right.
Which relatively easy to get. You can make them. You can buy them from DB Drag. You can talk to another judge about borrowing them, whatever.
Mhm.
Some judges may even have enough to give you. So,
Right.
so there's
That.
that. That's as far as banners go. But then
Uh-huh.
you said you totally forgot about the pictures.
Yeah, because I never see you do. I seen you do it like 3 shows, and I forgot that was the actual like a requirement.
Yep.
Because I was like, man, I judge, but I got into the photography thing. I'm like, when do I find time to do that? Because I don't.
So
I'm like,
how do you find time, Jeffrey, to get pictures for your shows?
Um, well, when it was just me doing it,
Mm-hmm.
I would like as soon as the cars come in, I'll be right in front of them, bam, take a picture, and I'll walk over to behind them, bam, take another picture, and then we'll get the bracket going. But now that my wife's taking pictures, it's like, we'll go in between maybe bracketing or something, or she'll just get up and she'll take a picture of all the vehicles in the parking lot. Um, we have a minimum that we have to upload. Well, I
12.
don't know if it's
12
it's
photos.
10,
loosely,
right?
yeah, 12 photos. I think it used to be 9 and it was 12, but
Oh, okay.
the more you take, the better, and it really makes it that much more exciting for everybody that it didn't go or something like that, that they could
Yeah.
check it out and stuff like that's why I always like try to remember that. If not, there's always the pictures of the awards that we give out as kind of you know uh, to fall back on and meet my minimum
Right.
12 pictures. So
Right.
Just people with the trophies is like, hey.
Yep.
yeah,
So
trophy shot.
so like for me, my very first Autorama I went to, Clay Nelson was judging it with Wayne
Mm.
Harris, and I believe Brantley Waits, I think may
Mm-hmm.
have been there. But if I go back and I look at those photos, that's cool because I get to see the cars that we built back then. Alma Gates was
Yeah,
at that event.
yeah,
Jeffrey was at that event. Um, you know,
history.
yeah, and it's always cool. That's the big reason why DB Drag requires those 12 photos. It's not so much for at the end of the event so people can see what happened or whatever, what cars were at the event. It's
Mhm.
more of 10 years down the line.
Yeah.
There's this picture. I mean, I got a picture on one of them of my son when he was 6 years old on the mic trying to copy me doing the 29.9, 39.9, 39.9, 4.99. So
That's something I have to learn to.
no,
Be like,
what? Oh, no, no,
like
no.
And with those pictures, basically, well, I was going to say anybody can upload them, but
Yep,
I think you need to be a member, right? At least.
correct. You have to be a member
right.
to
Um,
upload them.
and there is an option where you can add captions. You could even
Yep,
add
you can
names,
tag
You
them,
and
can do that.
people. Yep.
yeah, you could tag 'em. And how the Term Lab results is set up. So
Oh.
everybody who competes at an event is kind of, they would get their own profile page, so to
Yep.
speak. So if anybody is uploading pictures and then they add the competitor name,
Mhm.
that competitor name, it'll follow the competitor. So that picture will go to their profile. So
Mhm.
more and more people that upload pictures and then tag the competitor, it's just kind of, doing them a favor, doing them justice by, adding a picture onto their profile.
Yep. Kyle Ernie pops in here real quick. Says Jose the Goat,
Oh
dude
Lord.
is the nicest, most knowledgeable guy around. Always willing to give a helping hand and humble as can be. Give this man his flowers.
Making me blush over
Uh,
here, man.
No, it's yeah. So those pictures are way more important than people think.
yeah,
There you can also upload video. So if you have
yeah.
your own profile, you can upload YouTube videos to the Term Pro site. And the thing about that is so you know I can remember I went to Autorama, right? So I can go to
Yeah.
Autorama and it'll show me all the Autorama events that have been.
Mm.
So I can go, shoot, what the hell happened in 19, 1999 Autorama, right?
Right.
And I can go there and I can see the photos from it. If there's video, you can click on the video links. It'll show you the videos from that Autorama and everything. So
They're telling me this whole time I've been doing like videos at shows and posting on YouTube. I could have linked them to Turn Pro.
everyone you can link on Turn Pro to the event itself.
And I think you could take that YouTube link.
Yes, that's
copy and
exactly what I'm
paste.
talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, I guess.
So now you can.
Well, I guess you'll be seeing an Autorama video there soon.
Yeah. There you go.
But you do have to be a member to do that. So
Right.
just so people know, also have to be a member in DB Drag to set records. So I don't
Yeah,
know
I
about
remember that
other
one.
organizations or not.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kyle
I think,
Ernie says 1999 pictures look like they were taken with a potato.
Potato.
You know what? So my first Autorama, I believe, was 2000, and that we had a 5,000-pound CRX that we were using as an extreme car. Extreme
Like
1 to 2.
concrete or something, metal.
Yeah. What made it
Yes.
so heavy?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
It's like you added another CRX on top of the weight.
Whoa.
So essentially, so you had to have a motor in it, but the motor we took out, and we put something else in it in place. I think they put like a golf cart electric motor in it or something. And we had to put I-beams from the body, 6-inch wide I-beams from the body down to the axles, and we ended up bending the axles because we had so much weight in that car.
Wow.
But we were way beyond any of the suspension and all that in weight.
Yeah.
So.
I'm just like, that car itself is already like hot. Like, it's already like 2,000, 2,500 pounds.
Yeah, I know.
You doubled its weight.
Yep. Michael Longstreet says it was a Tesla before Tesla.
What?
Hey, the rule was back then it had to get in the lane on its own power. And we had Kyle Early says a 5,000-pound CRX skipped leg day. It had to get into the lanes on its own power. We still have that rule in there, but it didn't say what its own power had to be. And we had to remove, I can't remember why, but we had to remove the radiator. And because we moved the radiator, we couldn't keep the car cool. So we just removed the engine. So that's essentially what happened. We did.
Why did you guys take out the motor?
Why did we take out the motor in the first place?
Wait.
Well, a CRX isn't very big inside. So, I needed some distance. And once that distance was created, the engine no longer quite fit in the engine compartment. So, just saying. It's been a long time. He says, gotcha with the wink wink.
Let's just say it was a shorter hood.
Yes. Oh no, the hood was the same length. The firewall might not have been exactly where it was when the car came off the factory line.
Gotcha.
It's at that time we were using quarter wave theory, and you have to create distance, and obviously you couldn't create distance backwards in a CRX, so distance had to come from somewhere.
Right.
So it looked approximately like a CRX. Yeah, it's an extreme car.
Go back, put your thumb over it, wink a little bit.
It was an extreme
Went.
car, and we only got it up to. I got it up to 67 one time.
Okay.
And that's when the guy, we had 1,000 watts in it, and I got it up to 67 with a single 15 and 1,000 watts.
So this wasn't Extreme NL, was it? This was.
There was no such thing as NL. It was Extreme 1, 2, Extreme. Well, it was actually the very first year of Extreme 1. And Nathan Munson Yes, Nathan Munson and us were trying to be the first one to get to 170. He did it with a single 10-inch woofer. I was trying with
Wasn't
a
this
15.
wasn't this around the time that like Soundstream did the whole triple X18 with the rabbit? I think they had like a
That was
single.
about
But,
2 years later.
okay. Yeah, cause that's when I was like, you said 2000?
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. Cause I started getting in. We started the shop in like '07, and that's when I heard
Okay.
about that car with the triple X18.
Yep. Yeah.
That's what prompted me to.
Triple X's were out at the time, but they were. How do I
Me
put this?
ended up getting one.
They were trying to become something.
Is that it?
There you go. Triple X
Yeah.
right there, huh?
Yeah, that was my first sub.
Wasn't that Rabbit Jeffries with the Triple X 18? You didn't have the Extreme Rabbit though, Jeffrey. You had the Super Street, right?
Right. Right. I'm trying to figure out who was. It was in California.
So there was American Audio had that Rabbit.
I think
Remember?
Azevedo, Steve Azevedo.
Yeah.
Azevedo.
Well,
had
yeah,
one,
because he went as Azevedo, not American Audio.
Okay.
He still got that shop, by the way, as of
cool.
a couple of years ago, right? Like 2019, I talked to him right before the pandemic, and he still had the shop. Which, just as a shop goes, he actually took the body of a car and stuck it inside his shop. No wheels, no nothing. It was just the body of a car, and he put multiple systems in it, so you can literally click through the systems and potentially buy one of the systems that he
that's
had.
cool.
Yeah, so he built a non-mobile demo car inside his shop. So it was actually pretty cool. Says Mike Longstreet says next show y'all need to show some pics of these vehicles, even if it don't show setup.
Basically, the outside. You just wanted to see what the cars look like.
Like I said, if you want to see these vehicles, I mean, like I said, the pictures are there. You can click on at least any show that I've ever done. You can click on every single one of them, and there's at least 12 photos from the show. And so how I accomplish this is I find a girl who's somewhat pretty, because all pretty girls take pictures. So I hand a girl that's, pretty in any stretch of the imagination, hey, go take me at least 10 pictures. And they'll come back with usually some really good pictures. And then I'll hand it to another girl. There you go. I've got my 20 plus pictures. And
there you go.
And realistically, when I hand it to them, they're looking at it cosmetically, right? So they're looking. Yeah. I'm looking at it going, dude, this is a pretty badass system. They've got all these batteries. They got this, and they're looking at it going, ooh, this is shiny, or and it's more.
It look pretty.
Yeah, and definitely a lot of their pictures are more artistic, right? And stuff you would see more magazine-like. So that's why I use them for that.
Got it.
Woody McDonald popping in with the Toxic Audio, thumbs up. Yeah, so he was on here, last week or the week before, a couple weeks ago or something. And yeah, he was on here with the Toxic Audio guys, Greg Purchell. But yeah, so that's another thing. And I would encourage you guys, if you do have a membership, any videos you take, link them up in the DB Drag forum thing, in the DB Drag. If you have a membership, link them up to the DB Drag event that you went to. Also, super, super important as a competitor, get your one extra point. It is mega helpful. Just pre-register for any event, even if you don't go. Look for events within 100 miles of you and say, I'm going. And if you show up, you get the point. You don't show up, you don't get the point. It's really that simple.
I think I went like out of all the seasons, I went like 4 or 5 seasons without doing that. And then I was like, oh, wait, I forgot that was a thing.
Missed out on all those points.
Yep.
Actually, I think I did that for my first Autorama, which was one of the times where it was both days. It was a 2x Saturday, 3x
Okay.
Sunday,
Right.
or something like that.
Well, that's how they are. So it's always going to be a 2x, 3x.
Right. I just
So
for some reason I remember there was like one time it wasn't like that or something.
okay. Just so you guys know, I don't know how much I've put out there, but I am in the process of potentially purchasing a house in Wichita, Kansas.
Mm-hmm.
The date we got to move would be June of 25. So that just happened this last week. Pending
Congratulations.
pending financial stuff,
Mm.
which I'm not too worried about. So with that being said, the current plan is I was looking for somebody to take over the California area, and Jose was interested. I went and talked around to a bunch of different people, and Eric Hansen says, congratulations. Hey, I'll be close enough you can drive up and do a show. That's only 3.5 hours, Eric.
There you go.
Imagine the points he'd have, between mine and your show.
Oh, so when I took over California, we were doing, we had maybe 3 shows a year because Clay Nelson was doing it, and then he just stopped, right? So we were only doing like 3 shows a year and might have had 4 or 5 competitors when I took it over. 2 years prior to that, dude, DB Drag was booming in California, but then it just disappeared. I took it over, and within 2 years, I was averaging 50 plus competitors. It was the only organization in the Western United States, realistically. You know, I intend to do that. I intend to do that again in Wichita.
Yeah. And that's what was a big thing that we talked about, like why people would want to become judges. I kind of had to maybe add a couple of things to what I had said. So initially what I had said was, maybe you might see a deficiency in the show or something like that that you think you could do better. But that doesn't necessarily mean the show isn't as good. Another reason why is probably the lack of shows in general in your particular area, is why you would want to become a judge. Maybe you're sick of going to maybe this is probably my subliminal reasoning, because I would always have to go to Doug shows and he would always be up north and I'd be SoCal.
Bakersfield was the closest show I would do to you, and then
that was still like 4 hours I think
know.
from me. So I think that's another reason why similarly I wanted to become a judge, was bring it to SoCal, so that way I could have a following down in Southern California. So it's not necessarily that you would see like something that you could add to the show, but maybe there's just a lack of shows. And then that's exactly what Doug did when he became a judge, was helping California flourish. So
yeah,
that's another reason.
And like I said, if anybody becomes a judge, you guys can ask Tiffany and Tristan. Tiffany's in the chat. I see her already. If you can ask them, I will help you guys. You can ask Ray Pimley. It's not even that you're a DB drag judge. I prefer you to become a DB drag judge because I love our format and I think it is the best. That's my opinion. But I will help you guys out, help you guys figure out logistics, whatever. You got to figure. I've been doing this stuff 24 years as a judge, so been doing this a minute. So let's see. Kyle Henry says, when I first started in 2013, 2014, DB Drag was the only show in town. Doug and Jim were the local judges. And so, okay, that's a good example, right? So Jim Wright was like, hey, you aren't doing anything in the Monterey Bay area, in that part of Central California. Well, that's a 3-hour drive for me, right?
Yeah.
And he was like, hey, I'll start judging shows over here.
Yeah.
And we worked together. We came up with everything we're going to do. And he started. I mean, he had what Battle at the Castle. He had some really good
Yeah,
big shows.
Yeah,
that was a good show.
Castle.
You know, so I mean, so he started growing his following, and and together we grew DB Drag even bigger.
Mhm.
That's
Uh
kind of what I've been trying. Like I've been a judge for two orgs for about like a year or two, depending on which one you look at. But
huh.
that's kind of I've been taking a back burner because I'm just trying to focus on bringing it to the Bay.
Uh huh.
So like I'll like Ray Pimley has the Sac area, has Ray and Fresno, but I've been like I'm just gonna try and focus on getting stuff here in the Bay.
Yeah.
I had a shop that I was doing them at, and then the Stunwall guys came and ruined that one.
Oh, bummer.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I've been trying to bend my focus, but I'm gonna start doing some more shows now. I had all winter to try and get some new venues out here, but
Okay.
yeah.
Joel Yimbick jumping in here says he's willing to undergo judges training.
Mhm.
He wants to bring it to the Philippines,
That would
and
be
which
cool.
I think's awesome. We do have a lot of international. Like I said, Tiffany's doing it. Tiffany and Tristan in Barbados. We got
Yeah.
somebody. I think we have somebody in China because I know
Mm.
Ray Choi went out there for training a few years ago.
Mhm.
So
Then of course you got Europe,
Europe,
Giannis out
Mexico,
there,
Brazil.
Mexico, yeah.
I mean, in Europe, you got freaking what, like 6 countries or 7 countries over there in Europe. I mean that,
Mhm.
and they're the size of our smaller states, you know. So let's see here.
I know Spain is in on it.
Huh?
I know Spain has competitors.
Yeah,
Spain.
Spain,
Mhm.
England, France,
I went back and forth in
um,
Cyclone with one of those guys.
Czech
Oh,
Republic, I
okay.
think, had one.
Yeah.
Let's see. Kyle Henry says Nyman was a big supporter of drag. He loved his bass race. Bass
Mhm.
race is probably the best format in car audio, in my opinion. Anyone can be competitive. That's what I tell people all the time. If you
Oh
have
yeah.
a $900 system, you could. I guarantee you can go into Jose's shop right now. Say, here's $1,500. I want to be nationally competitive in
Yeah.
129.9 class, and he can put together a system that you would be competitive in.
And
Now
just
it's
come
up
on
to
Saturday.
you to do the work, but
Mhm.
he will be able to put a system in your car that'll last. It'll last for the duration for the season and no issues, and but it'd be a nice smooth. So you would as it played the songs, it would have smooth transitions from note to note to help you control the bass. So he would be able to help you that part. So realistically, $1,500, which is less than you're going to pay in entry fees in a year. Um, you can have everything you need, and you can be nationally competitive. Have your opportunity at winning a ring in base race.
139.9 with my door speakers. Hey, maybe that soundbar. Honestly, that soundbar I just made.
You
Is
just made a
loud.
sound bar.
Yeah, with the new SoundCube, the BGX CX8. They're like some $600 mids. I got 6 of them and put them on a 3200, but I tuned them in the box to about like 40 hertz, and they
Huh.
get down that low.
Uh,
Ask me how I know. I already launched the cone.
Uh-oh.
Joel says, "I don't know how much I spent on my build." That would be most of us in here, sir.
I don't want to know.
Yeah.
Or exactly, or we just tend to not keep track and
Let's see. Eric Hansen says base race and top dog for life. Another, if you can base race, you can top dog. And
Yeah.
in my opinion, those are the most exciting formats out there. That's the reason I save them for the end. And Kyle says those speakers are insane. I should see them. Oh, Jody
Oh,
Green popping in. There's our, as a matter of fact, New Zealand judge.
New
Or
Zealand, yeah.
yeah, he's New Zealand.
Mhm.
So yeah. So
I'm
there's our
actually
New
bringing
Zealand.
I'm bringing that soundbar over to the next show at Nyman's. I think it's the one that Ray's having,
Okay.
and I should have it at Autorama.
Okay.
So yeah, that'll be fun.
Yep. So that's good. Jody, if you just popped in, we're talking to Jose Ramos. He's potentially taking over California as I potentially move to Wichita. Like I said, that's a lot of potentials, but I feel things are in motion now that I can publicly come out and pretty much say that. So the plan is to move in June of 25. So that gives me enough time to get Jose trained up. Because for me, the ultimate goal would be here to leave California with somebody. There's Mario Perella dropping in. Leave California. Even when I move, we intend to have a World Finals location here still in California. So the intention would be for me to leave California in somebody's capable hands that can help continue to make it DB drag flourish, help knock down location. You guys do not know how much work goes into putting together a location in California for World Finals. Now don't get me wrong, Wayne, Solis, they foot the bill, they do all the stuff. But as far as nailing down a location and legwork and whatnot, I put a lot of time and effort into that just so you guys have a location out here. Solis finishes off the things. Like I will give her, say, hey, look, this is the guy I talked to. This is what I did. Here's who you need to contact. Can this work? And Solis takes it from that. So anyway, like I said,
so no pressure, Jose. I mean,
no pressure at all. I'm just like,
no pressure. I'm sure you'll do a good job. Yes.
Jody says, I'll teach you well. Jose, let's continue with the Pankit Out formats.
Yeah, that's one thing I was looking at. I never done it.
Okay, so Pankit Out is pretty simple. 3 feet off the ground, 3 feet from the furthest trailing edge of the vehicle.
And that's still the SPL meter, right?
Yep, but you have to have the X meter. So the so when you turn on your term lab, in the bottom corner, it should say Sensor X.
Sensor X, yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
If you don't have that, it's not the full spectrum sensor.
Okay, I gotta check mine then.
Yeah.
I have four sensors. I bought like the whole decked out kit.
Right.
But I don't know if I have.
Was it recently? Was it recently?
How recent?
Like within the last 2 years.
Probably.
Okay.
I think now.
So I have every iteration of any term lab stuff that's ever been made.
Just have a collection. Because I have the 4 sensors and I have the RTA sensor for like the last year I got it right when Cyclone split up into demo and.
Oh yeah, then I would almost pause. I think that's the same year, the beginning of that year is when they made the switch. Jody says Jeffrey Fernandez is good to throw things at also.
Like physically?
Well, Jeffrey doesn't have his nemesis in here today to say something about him being so short and small you couldn't even hit him. So we're missing that today.
Yeah, they've kind of gone away, right? Our trolls.
Yeah,
I think you had trolls. One. Well, yours pops in every once in a while, and
more trolls.
Oh, we don't get as many of them anymore.
Friendly trolls.
Yeah, more friendly trolls would be a good thing. But like I said, so if you guys are interested in becoming a judge in your area, Jody can tell you. So he became the judge out in New Zealand. Dude, that's so far away from. If you guys ever
it's so far away,
dude, it's so far away from Australia. It's like the difference in where he's at in New Zealand and Australia. It's like New York to LA. So
that's that far.
I didn't realize they're that far, but if you look on a map, dude, I think it's even closer to the Philippines than it is to Australia.
Isn't two different? I'll have to look that up.
So they are a long ways from Australia. So he was like, hey, I guess I can do DB drag out in New Zealand because they have it in Australia. So
yeah, it looks pretty close.
It looks close. It ain't. So yeah, it ain't close. It looks a lot closer on a map than it is.
But Yeah, I mean, I think it should be a pretty smooth transition to get over to drag.
Yeah.
Um,
And
yeah, so,
then and then we're going to hopefully he can maintain the same connections I've already had. I don't know if he wants to drive all the way to Fresno to do a show, but
for
if he does,
Ray or
Jay's Alarm.
Jay's. That's actually one of the things I was thinking about. So I was like, oh yeah, Jay's. I'll have to ask for the day off on Friday though, because he has his Friday shows, right?
So I'm actually going to talk to him about moving that to Saturdays. And the reason we were on Fridays was because his shop was closed Saturday, Sunday. But now he's his shop is getting even more successful than it always has been, and and because it's getting so successful, um, he's kind of brought his kids on as what did he call that one? Jay's mobile alarm or something
Yeah, I think
like
he
that.
was doing mobile.
Yeah, but that's his son Jay. It's not him, right? So like he's got his son doing that part, and he's got his other son doing another part. So, but there's so much work coming in that he had to open back up on the weekends.
Mm.
So I am gonna talk to him this week about moving his to Saturday instead of Friday night.
Got it.
So, because Fridays off this year are going to be really, really tough for me, considering the things I got to do to prepare for a move. So, Jody says he's definitely not Ozzy. Oi, oi, oi. Steve Dela Santos popping in there. Is he one of your sponsors of your next show coming up?
Of the one in May.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, it's gonna be the second annual show that he's sponsoring. Him along with Team Voodoo Customs. It's gonna be a Saturday show, May 18th. Yeah, cool.
There you go. The week
cool
after, or
in.
2 weeks after Autorama. So you're gonna
Actually,
be.
go ahead.
I was to say, yeah. So it's 7, so that'd be 12. So 2 weeks after Autorama, when that show is. So that's cool.
So speaking of locations, I was actually in the works with a spot right across the street from our shop, since we don't have the facilities to have one.
Yeah.
But is it like another business?
Yeah, with Napa across the street.
Okay.
Auto parts. Yeah.
That's cool.
But isn't there like residential right behind your shop?
Yeah, that's what I was trying to figure out. Like, what could we do to minimize the issue?
So here's
it's available, but can we make it work somehow?
Okay. So so pay attention to anybody that's a judge or wants to become a judge or whatever. So when you do a car audio event, it is not a car stereo competition. It is not a car show. What it is a promotional event for a business. Okay? Be very clear. It's a promotional event. That way you fall under the noise ordinance laws as if a radio like KISS FM comes out and does a radio spot.
Like PAs or something? PA speakers.
Yep. So if KISS FM were to come out and do a radio spot at your stereo shop, you would fall under the same noise ordinances or permit requirements for that.
Right.
And if you are, so in general, if you do have residential close to or around the area that you are going to put on a show, you have the shop or whoever the host is, and they can go out and they can actually flyer the neighborhood and say, hey, this is what we're doing and this is the day we're doing it. And that is considered public notice. And once they've done public notice and there's no opposition to it to the city council, then you have free reign during normal business hours.
Got it.
So,
what was the exact terminology again? You said
this is a promotional event for the business.
Event. Okay.
Because I mean, other than California, nobody else wants to be mean to businesses, right? And California only wants to be mean to businesses by taking all their money and forcing them to pay extra money to people that don't deserve it. So, not that I'm sour about it or anything. And in case the rest of you people in the world haven't heard, California, April 1st, which was today,
But
fast food workers in our state are now required to get $20 an hour minimum wage. So, because of that, I know of 2 McDonald's that have already closed. And
I didn't know that.
if you go and look on social media, you'll see all kinds of fast food workers that are no longer fast food workers. Because, if you want that 2 for $5 hamburger, they can't afford it when they have to pay $20 an hour to somebody who doesn't know how to do anything but push a button on. You want fries with that? Okay, fry button. If that's not $20 an hour worth of value to a business. I mean, Jose, if you had somebody that just swept up your shop for $20 an hour, you go out of business.
I'll do it myself.
I know.
Yeah.
You know what? At the McDonald's at State Line, when we went to the showdown, when we did the DB
electronic
drag, there was no cashiers.
That's
it was
right.
just kiosks everywhere. And then when me and Andy we showed up and then we were like ordering, we're like, well, okay, and it was like just go up to the cashiers. There's just crazy lines on these kiosks, multiple kiosks. Come to find out there is no cashier, and we just had to order everything, using the kiosks, which was
every
probably
fast food is doing that.
What we're going to be seeing now.
Yep.
So.
And not only that, but the drive-through tellers, they're going to be remote. They're going to have somebody in probably go to India.
No way.
Yep.
Like call centers?
Yep, like call centers.
That's crazy. Wow.
Because then they don't have to pay them $20 an hour.
Jeez. Thanks a lot, California.
So, hey, it's to give somebody a livable wage. But that means everything else has to go up. And
exactly.
the stuff that doesn't go up, they have to get rid of those people. So, hey, we're going to give you more money. Oh, but we're going to take your job away. So that more money is worth $0.
So it wasn't really an upgrade.
Yes. Some people believe it is. I don't even have a economics degree, and I can understand what's going on. You own a business. I own a business.
Yeah.
Can you imagine being forced to pay everybody at least $20 an hour? It'd be difficult.
It depends. Yeah.
It would be difficult. Now, now, don't get me wrong. If somebody were to bring $20 an hour value to my business, like if I hired Jose, hell yeah, I'll pay that dude $20 an hour tomorrow.
Yeah.
He brings $20.
That'd be at a steal.
Yeah, I know. He brings $20 worth of value to my business. At a fast food joint, I've seen a lot of people that work at fast food joints. I'm not sure a lot of them bring $20 an hour worth of value. Just saying.
Actually, for a quick bit, I had like a little side gig out of Jack, and I'd worked at a Jack in the Box for a minute back when I was younger. When I was doing college, and yeah, it depends on how many people are there. My Jack in the Box had 3 people there, so everybody was doing like 3 jobs.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah, but yeah, the people I worked with were pretty good. I've seen some other fast food joints. I'm just like, how did we run a whole restaurant with 3 people and you guys were
and you got 7.
Yeah, 8, 9, 10 people.
Yeah, you got 2 burners and 7 people.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. But yeah, we've had Jose on here before. But like I said, he will be doing the USACi. He'll be running on Saturday. He'll be doing the Saturday. Is yours a 1X
Just
or a 2X?
1 day?
Yes.
1X.
So he's doing a 1X. So essentially, if you guys are going to Autorama, basically the way it works is when you come through the gate, you pay a set fee, which is I think $60 or $55, whatever it is. I have to look online. So you pay the set fee. We give you a ticket. You get 2 tickets. 1 ticket gives you an entry into any one of the stereo competitions, USAC, IASCA, or DB Drag. The other ticket is so you can come back tomorrow. Real simple. You don't have the ticket to come back tomorrow and you don't have the right one, you don't get in. So we make sure which ticket we collect, which ticket you keep. If you do not have
ticket.
That's right. Don't lose your ticket. and to get an entry into so the way Jose's going to get paid from the event is he's going to bring me the tickets at the end of the day, and I'm going to pay him for every ticket he hands me. If he only hands me 4 tickets, he's only getting four entries worth of tickets or cash. So
I also don't lose the ticket.
That's right. It's a practice in organization. But it's a very large event, and I have to organize it somehow. And this has been the most effective way to organize the event, and it tends to work, and it's worked for years.
Are the orgs going to be relatively close to each other, so you can just kind of hop out of one lane to go to another lane? Okay.
Yep. I'm sure you've been there before. So DB will be right where we normally do it. IASCA or USAC will be up above by the building.
Okay.
And then the other one will be down in that other driveway, just to the other side of us. Does that make sense? Since you've been there, Jeffrey?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then there's still going to be areas for people to park and demo and stuff like
that.
Right?
We're going to be parked out past the restrooms out there now. So is the goal. Last year we almost filled up that parking lot completely with just DB drag. So adding USAC and IASCA, we are hoping to fill it and then some. So that looks good. Everything's like I said. So that once again, I just want to let you guys know my intention with financing. Let's see here. Jeffrey asked, Pankadao scores last Las Vegas showdown are not yet on the Turnpro website. Did you upload them?
We've submitted the archives to Wayne and Solis.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there was that issue where when
we changed the classes.
Right.
Well,
yeah, that and also initially we weren't planning on doing Pankadao. So anytime a judge creates an event, they would check off which formats they're doing, and then come to find out when we were trying to submit the archives, which is the results, we're like, well, we can't. Why can't it take? It's because we didn't check it off in the initially. But there is, I guess, what you could do is you could just send the archives to Wayne and Sleece, and they'll put it in there. So it should be in there. I probably give them a reminder and see if we can get that in there. But it'll be there. It'll be there.
Yeah.
For anyone interested in Pankadao rules, where can they go see that?
The best way is to go to Joel's Facebook page, Joel Yibbit, YBAMIT, or you can go to DB Drag. That's to see an actual video of it actually taking place. You can go to him on Facebook, and then if you go to the DB Drag website, you can click on Pankadao, and it'll show you the rules. The rules are very minimalistic. It's just you're going to classify the vehicle, and then, like I said, it's 3 foot off the ground, 3 foot from the furthest edge of the vehicle sticking out.
Got it.
So,
you might have to get a stand, right, for that?
I just use a microphone stand.
Yeah, that's probably the only other big hurdle, or hurdle, if any.
Yeah.
And my guess is Joel probably has something that he could help with. Or I know a guy over in the Oakland area that knows how to build some stuff, and I'm sure he can make something that's 3 foot off the ground that holds a microphone. Just saying.
Yeah. So,
Steve,
I haven't seen this been done before. Are we going off of SPL like this?
So it's full spectrum SPL.
Got it.
So it measures your loudest. It's a combination. Your peak loudest, total, the mean of all frequencies. So it's the, and then there's a third one in there. Do you remember what the third one is, Jeffrey? Anyway, so there's 3 things. You add them together, you divide it by 3, and that's your total score.
Got it.
if you see
Okay.
some of the results, normally where you would see like Fomax, the peak frequency,
Uh
you'd
Hmm.
see frequencies like 35,000 hertz, as their peak frequency, only because for one, you're using that super sensor, which could, register that full range, full spectrum of frequencies. But
Right.
yeah.
that's another thing that kind of catch people off guard too. Is like their Fomax was 35,000 hertz or 35, yeah,
Yeah,
35,000.
35K.
Yeah.
I got
Steve
some.
Steve wants to know, is there RV parking at Autorama? The answer is yes. And how that works, I don't know, but we will have uh, John Buck on, the guy who runs Autorama. We'll have him on here before Autorama, and we'll discuss it. So, Joel
Hmm.
said, Jose, I sent you a friend request. Please accept. Thank you. So,
Instant
um,
message, please reply.
oh, hey, shoot, dude, we're
There you
already
go.
past the hour.
We are.
And yep,
Oh.
and I got to get over and take some people's money because I got to afford some house. So I got to get the bowling. Jose, anybody you want to
Yes.
thank or shout out or anything real quick before we take off?
I think most of my shoutouts I already did during the show. I shot out at
And your shop?
Rape Families. My shot?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Fat Boys Car Audio in Oakland. Uh,
Fat boys.
Fat Boys Car Audio in Oakland, so 4430 International Boulevard. Also my own. I just recently got my own like business tax and everything
Oh, okay.
for Sonic Audio. So now that's more than just a
What
YouTube
is it?
channel. Subsonic
Subsonic
Audio.
audio.
Oh, subsonic audio. Okay.
Yes. Right now I'm doing some acrylic stuff. So I'm doing a lot of like
Oh,
speaker
speaker
grills.
grills.
Oh,
Um, as these that I did for some Chevys, with the little Chevy cut up. But yeah, that's pretty much it for now.
Is that like laser or is
Laser.
that
I have the laser right
3D
behind me
printer?
actually.
Oh, that's what that is, huh?
ah,
Yeah. So anybody that wants anything made, we have a CNC for wood projects, and we have a CO2 laser as well. I have a 3D printer, but I'm still new to that world, so
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, it's very slow.
Oh
So I
yeah.
think
Yeah,
I think
it's like what days for something to print
dude,
up.
yeah,
I'm gonna have
but
to
yeah,
talk to you about making me. I've designed a piece that I need to add onto my bowling bags. So
mm, okay,
it's just a little plastic thing that. But I bet you I know a guy, or it could be wood, it could be steel, it could be plastic. It's just to help balance my bowling bag better.
got it.
So,
But yeah,
Cool.
as far as my shows, you guys already know April 13th in Autorama.
yep.
Mm.
I'll be trying to add some more on. But yeah, as far as shout outs, that's all I really have right now.
Awesome. Jeffrey, what you got?
This coming up April 21st, it's going to be a Sunday show at Crossfire Car Audio headquarters.
Mhm.
We're having a triple point DB drag racing event. It's was upgraded by Longleaf Mechanical LLC as well as Mobile Insulation of Texas. So now it's going to be a triple point event with first through third trophies. Again, it's happening at Crossfire Car Audio, Grapevine, Texas. Check out DB Drag Racing /calendar for all the details.
There we go. And for me, yeah, I'm so busy. I got so many things. Hey, but I'm off this week. So, anybody
Oh,
lives out here wants to go fishing, hit up with me. I'm catching probably 6 fish an hour. Eric says red trophies, please. Um,
Amen Red. He
yeah.
likes red.
Um, anyway,
Oh
Make a
no,
ping.
it's actually I mentioned this last week. And I think we're actually gonna we got it figured out. So it's gonna be like first place is
oh, the
gold,
gold, silver, and
second
bronze.
place is silver, and then third place is bronze.
That's
Just to
right. I remember
give us
that.
a heads up. So
So no red trophies. Hey, I
no
will
red
have some
trophy.
red trophies at Autorama.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, by the way, just in case somebody didn't know, the Autorama trophies for the 3X day, they are going to be Nyman's old trophies,
Hmm.
and I'm not refurbishing them. I thought about it, and that's part of the deal. Is they aren't going to be refurbished. They will have new plates for the Autorama event and a picture of Nyman on them. But other than that, I am not refurbishing them because it's kind of not what I want to do with this.
Have
That's
you
not the
have you
intention.
mentioned that it's going to be? So you mentioned the 3X. But
on Sunday.
okay, so it's going to be 2x
Saturday,
and
3x
then
Sunday.
3x Sunday. Okay, that's right.
So 5x, that'll be half the
5x
points. Yep, that'll be
potentially,
half the points you need for World Finals, pretty much.
Mhm.
So, all right, guys. Yeah, we're running way late now. I got to get to the bowling alley. I got to try and take some money from some old folk. Yeah, I got to make a living. So, but anyway, like I said, if somebody's got the week off or whatever, and they live in the Manteca or anywhere near Manteca and want to go fishing during the day, I ain't doing anything but fishing right now. Eric says, "Can I go bowling with you when I go to Kansas?" I promise you, I'll still be bowling in Kansas. But yes, I know Moses likes to go fishing and whatnot, but he's got to
Cool.
work. I'm on a forced vacation from my job because we're slow right now.
I was going to
So-
ask that. Was it voluntary or
No,
that you're
I'm a worker,
Go home,
so
Doug.
yeah. So no, it's just I have a $36 million project I'm supposed to start, and it's being held up in design right now. So
Oh.
that's hopefully going to get resolved this week, and I can go back to work next week.
And is the fishing catch and release or
Catch and release, largemouth
Oh, okay.
bass. My average fish I've catching right now is about 3 to 3 1/4 pound.
So it's not like you catch the fish and fry it up in your
No, it's
backyard?
not catch and
or-
cook.
Oh, okay.
So
Still sounds fun.
it is. It's a great time. Yeah, Moses came. He caught more fish than me, but he didn't catch any of the size that I caught mine. So,
What time you usually go?
7 a.m.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Got it.
So,
Okay,
but
I might
but
have-
I'm home
I might
all
have to
day.
fill my pot.
I'm home all day. So if just hit me up if you guys want to go fishing. I have my phone with me out on the boat. I can always come back to my dock.
Wait, so you could take your boat out too and
Yeah.
to the middle? Oh, okay. I thought you just fished from your backyard.
No, hell no, dude. I fish off
Oh,
my
wow,
boat.
okay.
I got a 20-foot dock I float around on with the motor. So fish finders,
Nice.
all that stuff. I cheat.
Can you pull some like jet skis too, or No.
No. So everything has to be
Okay.
electronic on the lake, and it's what
okay.
they call a no-touch lake. So you can't do any activity that you could potentially fall into the lake. So it's like double diamond or Diamond Peak Lake out there in by Paris. That has the same restrictions by like
I use my little floaties.
Yeah. All right, guys, we really got to get out of here. I'm already late.
Okay.
I'm gonna miss the first
Alright.
2 frames of bowling already. All right, guys. Hey, if you guys whatever going on, we'll see you guys next week. We got Joseph from Earthquake coming in next week. You guys want to talk about? He's an interesting fellow. If you've never met him, he's kind of a cool guy. He did a lot of cool stuff for car audio in the early 2000s. He was establishing stuff. He's got a crap ton of patents, car audio design patents. So he just came up with a brand new one that he got a patent on a couple weeks ago. So anyway, we'll have Joseph on here. Very interesting guy. And I'm not saying anything about but his political beliefs are his own, and he loves his political beliefs. So, not saying we agree or disagree with him. I'm just saying he loves his political beliefs and wants to know if he can wear a Trump hat on the show. I said, you're more than welcome to wear whatever you want. So, very interesting guy, and it should be a good time next week. Week after that, we're going to have Down for Sound. Down for Sound.
JP?
JP. JP
Oh,
will
cool.
be on here the
Okay.
following Monday after Joseph. So I already got him scheduled for April 15th. All right, guys.
Cool.
Oh, I'm so late. All right. I got to go,
Get out
guys.
of here. Get out
Thank
of
you
here.
very much for tuning in. Thank you,
right.
Jose. Jeffrey, great as always. Thank everybody for tuning in. We'll see you guys next week on This Week in Car Audio, 5:30 California time. Once again, the only time that matters. Peace. We out.